And I'm like, God, why did he have to go through all that to get to where he was going? Hello everyone, my name is Angel Sandoval. Thank you so much for stopping by my channel. If you're new to my channel, I make these videos weekly in hopes that they encourage you. Guys, I want to talk to you about God's timing. You probably hear, in God's timing, it'll all work out. It'll all happen in God's timing. And some of us, we get frustrated in waiting that it's been too long. And then I stop and I look at Joseph, who actually spent years of suffering before he was actually put into the position that God wanted him to be in. And if you back up in Joseph's life, he was a young man who had the ability to dream and see visions and prophesy through those dreams and see future. And the Lord was showing him that he was going to be a ruler. And one day he's bragging about being this ruler. Probably not the best thing to do, but he's bragging to his brothers, and his brothers start hating on him. And they get tired of it to the point to one day Joseph goes with his older brothers out, and they wanted to kill him, basically. His brothers wanted to kill him. But look at how God works. Instead, they sell Joseph as a slave, and you fast forward now, Joseph's in prison. And I mean, if you really want to just read it, it's in Genesis 37 is the best place to start for it. And go a little bit sooner, but Genesis 37 in the Bible. I encourage you to read it. But anyway, Joseph's now in this prison, and the way it turns out is he's able to prophesy these dreams, and there's a cupbearer and a baker that ended up being thrown in prison from the king for I don't remember what. But they were somehow able to tell the king Joseph can interpret dreams. Joseph starts interpreting dreams for the king and starts sharing what he saw, because the king couldn't understand why he was dreaming these certain dreams. And Joseph explained to him, there's going to be this huge famine. And this famine, when it comes, you need to be prepared. And the king knew what Joseph was saying was true, because Joseph had already proven himself to the king. So now let's fast forward even further. And now the king prepares, and the famine comes just like Joseph prophesied. They survive, basically. The king and all the people survive because of Joseph's prophecy of what had come to pass. So now all these other areas are starving around the area, including Joseph's family that had put him in this hole and then sold him as a slave. For all they knew, he was dead. These guys go as far as killing an animal, taking his shirt back, throwing blood all over it, and taking it to Joseph's dad, saying he died and was eaten by an animal. And it just became a whole world of mess. So now the dad thinks he's dead, and the brothers are probably like, we don't know what happened to him. He's probably a slave somewhere now. You know, they sort of wrote him off, like they got rid of him. But little did they know, behind the scenes, God was working in Joseph's life, and God eventually made him governor right next to the king, where the king even put his signet ring on his finger, and everyone who had to answer to the king had to go through Joseph. So, I mean, it's a really powerful story how not only did God restore him, but he excelled him. Now, let's talk about Joseph's brothers who come to him for food and didn't recognize him. There's a lot of twists in this story, but the main point that I'm trying to make is, why did it take years for all this to happen? Why didn't it happen sooner? Why couldn't it have been a year? Why did it have to be the span of years of suffering that he had to go through? The prison, there's Potiphar's wife that accused him of trying to rape her, and he goes back to prison again. I mean, the story is so interesting, and there's a lot of things that he had to go through. And I'm like, God, why did he have to go through all that to get to where he was going? God says, look, Angel, my ways are above yours. Neither are my thoughts like the way you think. You don't know what I'm doing. You don't know the process and the timing in things that have to happen. There was going to be a huge famine coming, and it was going to happen in that year. And the reason why I made it happen in the way it did, in order for me to have Joseph in the position that he needed to be in to rule and govern. And I had to prepare him through the struggles of life. So whatever it is you're going through, what struggles you're going through, this time of impatience, like, God, why am I going through this? Why now multiple things are going on in my life. It's not just one. I'm not dealing with this. Now I'm dealing with this, and this. And it's hard. I have battle fatigue. I don't want to move forward. I'm tired, Lord. God is wanting you to know that He's giving you supernatural strength to get through these things. But He also wants you to know that you're going to excel just like Joseph, and you're going to come out much better than you were before. There's a position that He wants to put you in that only you can do. There's only certain people that you're going to be able to touch for His kingdom, and He needs to put you through the process so that you can be prepared. And that's what God is trying to do today. You stay encouraged because your time is coming. You just need to hold on, just like Joseph did, until your glory is revealed. God bless you. Always praying for you. If you have any prayer, my email's on your screen. Stay strong. Your day's coming. Please don't forget to subscribe by hitting the subscribe button below and clicking the bell icon for future messages.